kind of expected that it might go down to a very, very tight decision. I'm disappointed. We now know that the project will not go ahead. I don't see too much hope of us even bringing it back for a new application. We're going to move on to better things. I wish anybody else good luck in going through a process like this, like we've gone through. Ray and I are we are visionaries in this city as well. A lot of people in council are as well, but times change. And if you look at the past, Ray's family, the Brunet family, came along as contractors in the city. The Bourgons of this town did as well. The Bourbonnais, the Menards, and times change. And the next generation comes along. Ray's the next generation with the Bourgons. Now we see the Markles. With the Menards, we see the young lads in there. And everything changes and evolves. And I'm afraid that our council has not evolved. I think what we see is times have to change. Tonight, what we witnessed is a little bit of too much narrow vision. I think that if this project would have come forward and passed, yeah, maybe a lot of people would have come to this city and said, hey, there's money here available. They would have soon realized that the rules have changed and they would have to abide by some new rules. And if we would have gone ahead with this project, we would have tried another one too, perhaps, with the new rules, and we would have had to accept that. I think, and I'm old enough now to remember some of the tendering processes back in the 70s and the early 80s. Contracts were bid on. Projects like this were bid on. Tendering was tight, but the rules were a little different in those days. The end result is the same. Tendering was tight. A contractor would win a contract. It wasn't really enough money to make money on it, but there were so many gray areas in those days as far as specifications and rules. The extras made up for the difference. Well, today, the rules have changed. You can't get extras like you used to. Those extras now come in the shape of incremental tax relief. So the only way we can make this viable, instead of extras, is the incremental tax relief. So I think people have to realize that that's how things have evolved, and they will realize it sooner or later. Maybe after the next election, with a new face of council, they may come to a different realization. So.
Dennis Thibault suggested that it never went anywhere, but suggested 1.2 million. Would that still have been enough for you to?
Not quite. We had a threshold. It was higher than that. People that are behind us pretty much needed what was on the table from PAC.
So that tells you one thing, I guess, right? Is that with the new program, differences between the 1.8 something you guys are asking and the 1.2. That's got to be realized in the new program. It's got to be. It's got to be. I mean, they're saying that the next program might not be as generous as what it is now for what you applied for, but that's.
Yeah, and that's going to make it tougher for progress in this city, because if it's not worth the while for the investors, the progress won't happen. So it'll have to happen in some other form of subsidy of some sort.
How many investors did you have in the project?
It's not so much how many. Basically, it's a group of people that would have. Not all the investors were in place, but there was a strong enough group of people behind us that would have spurred on the rest of them.
Were some of them here tonight, present at the meeting?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you mentioned something about maybe some other projects. I was going to say that because this accessibility issue is such a big thing with this project and supposedly with council. So is there projects you're thinking about having with accessibility as a focus?
At this time, no. No, I think we just lost one here. We lost a big one.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
lot.